Messi, Neymar, and Kylian Mbappé. Have you ever imagined what it would be like if the three greatest players of our era all played for the same team? Oh, comes like a lineup straight out of a video game. Messi on the right wing, Neymar on the left, Mbappé up top. At the very least, they'd snatch a quick Champions League, right? Sounds easy when you say it like that. If football were that simple, Manchester United would have won a treble every year. But hey, if you don't know, just sit back and listen. According to Opta, even though this trio scored a whopping 170 goals across 2 seasons together at PSG, they only managed to win 2 domestic titles out of 8 competitions. How is that even possible? Messi, Neymar and Mbappé, and they still couldn't lift a Champions League trophy. Alright then. Since this came up thanks to my buddy Go's question, and with all the buzz around the French football giants lately, welcome back to Bovago Academy, and this is today's digital football business story. Grab a cup of coffee and join us as we dive into the story of how the so-called new rich club, Paris Saint-Germain, actually came into existence. Back in the early 1960s, Europe was going crazy for football. The beautiful game was spreading like wildfire. From England to Spain to Germany, every capital had at least one top-tier club to represent them. And Paris, the city of lights, of fashion, of perfume, didn't even have a proper football team. Like, seriously? So the president of the French Football Federation at the time, a man with both vision and vibes, Mr. Jacques Georges, came up with a genius move. Let's ask the people. Yup, a public vote. Because why not? After collecting exactly 77,490 votes from football fans all across the country, kinda sounds like voting for Miss Universe, the name Paris Football Club was officially chosen. The mission? Crystal clear. Skip the amateur leagues and jump straight into the top flight. Point, Paris FC was looking to tie the knot with CS Sedan Ardennes, a local club that was absolutely tearing it up in France's top division. But, plot twist. The folks over at Sedan quickly saw through the plan and backed out at the last minute.
Classic cold feet, huh?
Just weeks before the 1970-71 season kicked off, Paris FC was still a team with no coach, no players, no stadium, no staff, and absolutely no right to compete in any official French league. Basically, a football club that existed only on paper. So what did they do? The board scrambled to find a local team willing to merge, and on June 10th, 1970, they finally struck a deal with Stade Saint-Germain, a smaller club that had just been promoted to the French second division. And just like that, Paris Saint-Germain Football Club was born. To get ready for their first season, the new management went on a quick shopping spree, signing 5 professional players, including Patrick Pestrecchi, Jean-Claude Braz, Delamonte, Mustafa Lepine, Pedoliani, and Djorkaeff, captain of the French national team at the time. And guess what? Those signings paid off immediately. In their very first season, PSG performed brilliantly and earned promotion. This event took everyone in Paris by surprise, even the city officials. In the following season, as a reward for the capital's club, the city government announced it would sponsor the team for 4 seasons. What were the conditions? Not 1, but 3 requirements. 1, PSG must successfully stay in the top division. Tie, the team would have to move to a new stadium named Parc des Princes. 3, 2 members of the Paris City Council would join the club's management. Although both sides initially agreed to all 3 conditions on December 21st, 1971, while the team was still doing well in the first division, the Paris City Council passed a resolution requiring the club to change its name to Paris Sport Pool Club. Not on board? The city government would cut funding and also revoke the club's right to rent the stadium. Under pressure from the city, the president of PSG at the time had no choice but to reluctantly accept the plan. On May 19, 1972, the decision to split the club was announced. One part of the team was renamed Paris FC and continued to play in Division 1, while the other half kept the name Paris Saint-Germain and had to drop down to play in Division 3. From the Mungchin Baby High to Mungchin Baby Ba season, in 2 consecutive seasons, Paris Saint-Germain achieved the remarkable feat of promoting twice in a row and quickly returned to the top tier of French football by the summer of Mungchin Baby Thi. In Mungchin Baby Dena Hacker was officially appointed as the new president of the club. However, Under Daniel Hacker's leadership, Paris Saint-Germain was often known as a mid-tier football club, frequently facing financial difficulties. Saint-Germain shook the whole of France as a number of tickets were illegally sold by Daniel Hacker on the black market. PSG went through constant changes in coaches and players, leading to instability in both playing style and results. This caused the club to slip back into being a mid-tier team in France. In order to escape from this difficult period, the club changed ownership and was transferred to a private television corporation named Canal+. As soon as Canal+ took over the management of PSG, they quickly began rebuilding the club. The company brought in numerous top players such as David Ginola, J.J. Okocha and George Weah, while also integrating young talents from the squad, including Ronaldinho and Pauleta. During their 15 years under Canal+, PSG won numerous titles, including several French Cups, 2 League Cups, the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup and the Intertoto Cup. Most notably, they were crowned Ligue 1 champions in a controversial season where they became the first second-place team to win the title after the original winners, Olympique Marseille, were stripped of their championship due to a match-fixing scandal involving a local club named Valenciennes. After the successful Canal+ era, in June, the club was taken over by 2 investment funds, Colony Capital and others. But Munming Tiptuk Fun Sol Tuthai Colony Capital, lack of understanding of the sport. Mr. Charles made several poor decisions, such as excessively interfering with the team's lineup and using the club's funds for personal gain. He even sent a letter to all members of the board of directors demanding more authority. As a result, after just 4 years, he was forced to resign, and the American owners decided to put the club up for sale in May of that year. In 2011, Paris Saint-Germain was acquired by the investment group Qatar Sports Investments for €150 million. The group was led by Nasser bin Ghanim Al Khalifi, commonly known as Nasser Al Khalifi. He was appointed as the new president of the club. Prior to this, he had served as the president of the Qatar Tennis Federation, CEO of beIN Media Group, and was a close associate of the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim. In August 2011, Nasser brought in then Inter Milan head coach Leonardo to serve as the club's technical director. Leonardo immediately ushered in a new era for PSG, overseeing a massive overhaul of the club's personnel. Every transfer window saw hundreds of millions of euros invested into the squad to bring in top talents from around the world. For instance, €45 million were spent to sign Javier Pastore in Heinkanton in Mold, and €60 million for other major acquisitions that followed. In 2012, Paris Saint-Germain SG began to improve steadily, gradually closing the gap with other top teams in France like Marseille and Lyon. By 2016, PSG had won the league 5 times, but despite their dominance in France, they struggled in European competitions, particularly in the Champions League. For example, in the 2016-2017 season, PSG led Barcelona 4-0 in the first leg but was eliminated after a humiliating 6-1 defeat in the second leg. To overcome these challenges, PSG's management, led by Al Khalifi, Nasser and Leonardo, adopted a bold strategy, sacrificing young talents in favour of signing high-profile players. They aimed to bring in world-class stars to lead the club to success in Europe. This strategy paid off with the acquisition of Neymar for a record fee of €222 million, marking a new era for the club. PSG continues to announce another blockbuster named Kylian Mbappé. According to a loan deal with a buyout clause worth up to €180 million, this blood-selling strategy starts here. The beginning of the season brings a brighter future for the capital team. In fact, during the 2019-2020 season, the brilliance of Neymar and Kylian Mbappé helped PSG, for the first time in its history, experience the atmosphere of a Champions League final. Although they lost to Bayern 1-0, this achievement strengthened the strong belief of Nasser and his associates that they were heading in the right direction. Moving into the next season, despite financial fair play regulations and an increasingly bloated wage fund, PSG continued to shake up the transfer market by recruiting 6 top-quality new signings, including Achraf Hakimi and Sergio Ramos. Nuno Mendes, Gianluigi Donnarumma, Jorginho Wijnaldum, and especially the Argentine football legend Lionel Messi on a free transfer. It can be said that with all the chess pieces in hand, PSG's goal now is nothing but bringing the UEFA Champions League trophy to their trophy room. Starting their European conquest campaign, PSG had a promising beginning as they confidently overcame the group of death with impressive results. However, things started to get tougher when they faced Real Madrid, the kings of the Champions League, in the round of 16. The first leg was held at the Parc des Princes, where PSG had a good start and even led 1-0 thanks to a brilliant moment from Kylian Mbappé. However, in the return leg at Santiago Bernabéu, the situation turned around. Real Madrid, with their mentality and experience as European champions 13 times, completely overwhelmed PSG. Karim Benzema, with a hat-trick in the return leg, helped Real Madrid secure an overall victory with a 3-2 score, thanks to their many big personalities in the squad. Along with the team's declining performance, this led to internal divisions at PSG. Rumours about dissatisfied players began to appear in the media, especially revolving around superstar Kylian Mbappé, Neymar and Lionel Messi. If Mbappé is rumoured to be unhappy with his role in the team and wants to move to Real Madrid, Neymar is involved in many scandals off the field. Meanwhile, Messi, after winning the World Cup with Argentina, has been repeatedly booed by PSG fans for being perceived as no longer fully committed to PSG. With fluctuating form, internal issues in the locker room, things were starting to fall apart. However, on the commercial front, PSG's financial situation proved to be on par with any top name in Europe, even the rich club from France. The Qatari owners invested a large amount of money to turn PSG into a top European club, from grading the infrastructure to spending hundreds of millions of dollars annually to reinvest in the club, even to legitimize the money. Nasser and his associates also hid behind the name of the investment group Qatar Sports Investments to continue sponsoring the club. According to Brand Finance's report, Paris Saint-Germain is the second most valuable football club in the world, with an estimated annual revenue of around £976 million, up from €180 million to €700 million. In addition to the continuous flow of money from Qatar into Parc des Princes each year, the club also constantly promotes its influence, becoming a globally recognised brand. Under Nasser's leadership, PSG has developed a long-term strategy. In order not to rely too much on financial support from the owners, the club began focusing on television rights, just like other big clubs. Consistently strong performances in competitions over the years have helped the rich French club continuously secure lucrative television contracts from broadcasters, contributing around 50% of the club's total revenue. After television comes the commercial aspect. Besides focusing on developing the team like other sports clubs, Paris Saint-Germain also operates in the sports merchandise business through collaborations with prestigious brands such as Dior, Gucci, Vape and Jordan. These products have captured the attention of fans worldwide, with even celebrities jumping on the bandwagon. Notable names such as Drake, Travis Scott and Justin Bieber have promoted the brand. Thanks to the enthusiastic endorsement of these stars, PSG's visibility has grown exponentially and the demand for their collab items has exploded. This is seen as the second largest revenue source for the club. Finally, one of the key factors contributing to PSG's success is its fan base. In fact, many ultras are willing to spend tens of thousands of dollars just to experience the atmosphere of heated matches and watch their favourite players live. Typically, the revenue generated from these fans accounts for about 20% of the club's annual total income. In conclusion,